Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. This week, I want to talk about why silence will always work on an ex. When I'm talking to my coaching clients, one of the questions that most of them ask is, what can I do? We're so used to taking action that we think we need to do something in order to get someone back. And that is the mistake that most people make when they are trying to get an ex back. They do too much, when in essence, they should be doing basically nothing. And that's hard for people to comprehend and to follow through with. They do not understand the power of silence. So that's what I want to talk about today. But first, I want to welcome back my beautiful No Contact Army. Speaking of silence, have you downloaded my app Silenzio, which means silence in Italian? There's a reason I called it Silenzio. I didn't call it the No Contact app. I call it Silenzio because silence is important. So if you haven't yet, then the link is underneath every single video and podcast, and it is available in Android and iPhone. And if you too would like to join our No Contact Army, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and you're in. And to read our manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com, where you can read 2 free chapters before purchasing the book. Okay, so if you've been listening to this channel, you know that no contact involves silence, of course, but the silence I'm talking about also involves remaining silent until your ex does or says something significant. And most people have a hard time with this because they are in their fearful brain instead of their logical brain. So they ask questions like, is my ex going to forget me? Which, I'm sorry, that just makes me laugh. Nothing personal. And I've done a video on that, so I'll put the link up in the right-hand corner on YouTube. Or they say, I'm afraid they're going to meet someone new. Well, good. Then they can compare the new person to you, and if you were a great partner, they'll realize that that they messed up. And, there was someone that I had a casual relationship once, and all of a sudden, he disappeared. Well, guess who showed up 3 months later saying they missed me? So I'm assuming he was trying to replace me in those 3 months, and he wasn't successful. And he came back, otherwise he wouldn't have come back. And of course, I was silent the entire time. I did absolutely nothing to try to get him back. He tried to replace me, didn't work. Now, I'm sure you've heard that the majority of communication is nonverbal. And I'm not going to give you a percentage because I've heard so many different statistics in terms of what percentage it is. Oh, it's 75, 80, 85, whatever. Just know that it's high. So that's exactly what you're doing with no contact. You think that you're not communicating, but meanwhile, you are communicating very strongly. You're communicating with your silence. And what you're communicating is that you're not going to chase them, you're accepting the breakup, and maybe, maybe you're even moving on. So your silence leaves a void that they fill in with their imagination. So they may believe that one or more of those things could be true. When they broke up with you, they were sure that you would always be an option, since they wanted the breakup, not you. And when you're silent and you don't reach out, you don't watch their stories, you don't respond to their phone calls, you don't respond to their texts unless it's significant, you will disabuse them of the notion that you're still an option. You're sending a silent message that if they want you back, they better step up to the plate and say something significant. And for those of you who are so afraid to wait for your ex to say something significant, I can tell you that I was once talking to this guy for about 3 or 4 days, and then it took him 3 days to respond to my last message. And so when he finally did respond, I left him on red because I was turned off. It does not take 3 days to respond to a text. Okay. Remember, you teach people how to treat you. If I had responded, it would have sent the message that he could take his time getting back to me any old time he felt like it. Someone who's interested in you is not going to take 3 days to get back to you. They wouldn't even be able to because they'd be so excited to talk to you and keep the conversation going. So I took the chance that I would never hear from him again if I left him on red. Well, It took 5 weeks, and he finally reached out saying that it broke his heart that I left him on red. Sounds a little melodramatic, whatever, but okay, he did reach out with a significant message to which I responded. So if someone that I had never met and had only chatted with for 3 or 4 days can leave a significant message when I ghosted him, if your ex who you had some type of relationship with, who you had met, I'm assuming, I'm sure they're able to leave a significant message when you're silent if they want to, okay? Silence is the only way to reverse the power dynamic and show them that no, you're not an option, as I said before. By being silent, you're making your ex contact you, even if it's just to find out why the heck you're not chasing them, because they've probably been through breakups before and they know that often the person being dumped is going to chase. And when you don't, they'll wonder, why not? So as time goes by, the things that you were worried about regarding your ex, whether they were dating someone else, whether they would reach out, whether they had moved on, they're going to start to have the same thoughts about you. And whereas you may have been anxious at the beginning of the breakup, as time goes by and your ex loses the certainty that they can get you back, they are the ones who will become more anxious just as you are becoming less anxious. And this is when they will start with the breadcrumbing, and why I'm so adamant about not responding to breadcrumbing, because you are taking away their anxiety. And without anxiety, they cannot start to think about contacting you and about wanting to get back together. So you've heard the saying, silence is golden. And what it means is that it's often better to say nothing than to speak. And this can be especially true when speaking about a breakup, as speaking could cause more harm than good. Silence shows patience and restraint, and those are 2 qualities that everyone admires in a romantic partner. So remember, your absence and your silence have more power than your actions and your words when it comes to getting an ex back. Silence raises interest level, and raising your ex's interest is the first step in getting them to contact you and getting them back. Okay, so now I want to hear from you. Have you downloaded my app Silencio? And has it helped you to stay in no contact? And if you haven't downloaded it, I'd be interested to know why not. Let me know in the comments below. And in the meantime, if you would like my help to get your ex back, you can contact me at theartoflove.net, and we will send you the rates. The direct link to that is below every single video and podcast. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share so that other people can find it, and we can help other people trying to get their ex back. If you're listening to this as a podcast, please rate and review. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.